Before my first internship, I had so many questions. What if I don't know anything? What if they ask me a legal question? Will they expect me to draft a petition on day one? Will they judge me? If you ever had this kind of thought, this video is just for you. Today I am going to explain how law internships actually work. From applying to your first day, the work you will do, common mistakes, and how to make a good impression. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are a law student or planning to join law school, this channel is all about helping you become a smarter and more confident future lawyer. So let's dive straight into the video. So the first thing that comes while listening to internship is how to get one. Now getting an internship is a bit more complicated when you ask your seniors or professors. They would ask you to send a polite emails to lawyers or law firms, make connections through LinkedIn and everything. But then, does that actually work? So the answer is no. The world is full of cribs, and if you use this kind of methods, you will meet more. And that's true. My LinkedIn has been filled with this kind of stuff where they themselves ask that would you like to intern under us? And when we say yes, and the amount of the stuff that starts after that is so stupid, so do not get indulged in such kind of things. Now also, does that make you to say that you should not send anytime emails? So the answer is no, you can. Like for example, if there is a big law firm or some kind of big advocate that you want to intern under, then you can definitely send, because then there would be HR and everything. So that time it works. Then apart from that, how could you get one internship? So first of all, use your connections, and people who say that do not use it, just tell them if you have some kind of advantage, there is no bad thing in using it. So you can definitely use your connections. If not, if you are a first generation lawyer like as I am, so then what you can do is you can apply through internship committee. You can make your very strong resume which could compete you with your entire class, and if you think that you are the best candidate, then send your resume to the internship committee. They will put forward it to the different firms and everyone, and then you will get an internship. And at that point of time, your college is also responsible for your internship. If anything happens, your college will be answerable. So then that's a good thing if you're keeping some kind of agent or mediator in between you. So yeah, apart from that, is you can send polite emails to lawyers or law firms. You can apply through internship portals. You can ask your seniors for guidance. You can contact advocates during your court visits and everything. And also remember, as I said earlier, one of the biggest myths is that you need family connections to get an internship. You can get through this, but then also you can use it without thinking a second time. So yeah, that you can do. And always remember, the key is to start early and don't be afraid of rejections. Yeah, when I had faced 2 rejections before getting my one of the internships. So yeah, you will face it. So next is, how would be your first day? So regarding your first day, it won't be something very major, it would be something very basic. So don't have that kind of bubbles of thought, very huge one, don't. So firstly, you will start by introducing yourself to office. You will meet advocates, you will understand the workflow and receive your first assignment. Also, you will be doing your all documentation and everything. So that stuff will happen usually on the first day. There won't be anything major. Even the assignments you will get would be so meager. They will, maybe if you are in firm, they will handle your case file and they just ask you to read it and make a case brief, just to check your understanding of law and your ability to take a work. Next, if you are under an advocate, the work I got under chamber advocate was to just go and post a notice. That was my work. So yeah, it depends. Oh, wait a minute. No, that was my second work. The first work was to file a wakalatnama in the clerk's office. So yeah, that was my first thing. So it depends from office to office what kind of work you get, but it's not something very major. Next is the work you will actually do after your first day. So firstly, reading case files, that would be all the time. If you don't have any work, they will just give you some random case file, they will ask you to read anywhere. So that would be a first thing. Second would be legal research. Be well versed with what kind of research you are going to do. Also remember, research could be your biggest, like, I'm not having the word for it, like, it could be, a game-changing opportunity for you. Like, for example, what happened with one of my college mate only, there were two girls, two candidates. So what happened, one of the girls, she received her internship in the very same month she applied. She went for the internship. She was given the work to find a citation. She used ChatGPT like all of us do. She took it from AI and those citations were wrong. On the next day of office, she was removed and she was kicked out from the office, and that other girl was hired. So this stuff can happen. So yeah, be very well versed with legal research. Now legal research is not only about finding citations. It could be understanding the case. It could be finding loopholes in the maybe like how I was assigned. I was given an FIR and I was asked to find the loopholes. So you can get like that work, or maybe you will be asked maybe some case file you will be getting and will be asked to formulate an arguments on it, or what could be your strongest point, what's your advantage, disadvantage. Such kind of questions could be asked. Maybe some kind of law they might be give you to research, like suppose on Lavasa only there were 13 acts. Now these 30 acts were some of the random ones, which like they were not so famous ones. So you might get an work to understand those laws, to read those bare act and to find the relevant sections. So such kind of work you might get. Apart from that, finding relevant case laws and everything. Next is again finding judgments, is the same thing. Then preparing case brief, and please be mindful, case brief is very minimal thing. You might get this on your very first day, like as we got on very first day, and usually students get scared. So for your case brief, prepare during your law school itself. Make a habit of making a case brief, okay? And this case brief, you can start by landmark judgments, but eventually you should also understand that how to make a case brief for ongoing cases. So you do try those kind of stuff. You can take the help of Google or AI. You can ask questions and they will help you to make a case brief, okay? Next is drafting simple notices or applications. So do work on those stuff as well. Try to read sample notices from the Google and everything. Try to draft some simple notices. Like for example, making an affidavit. What's so difficult in making an affidavit? Just try and learn those things, okay? Basic. Make an application of denial. Like very basic thing one could ask you. I got this work. I finished it as well, but my co-interns, they were like, oh my god, this is such a huge work. How could they give it to a first year student? Where it was not, it was such a minimal stuff. So such kind of basic applications you should be able to make. Maybe you should also be able, like this was my first draft that I got, very first draft of my life. It was to draft a reply notice. So now this should be also what you should understand and should be able to make it. And after that you can actually ask for making a plaint and everything. Like I got it on my first internship to draft a plaint, and I got two plaint to draft, one recovery suit and other was insolvency suit. So yeah, I did got. The next is organizing documents, and don't feel like this is office boss work, why I am doing it. It's an opportunity. Like for example, if you are given an work to organize documents, what you should actually see is what's the sequence of the matter. For example, since you are in your first year, you might get this work. So basically you should see that firstly the plaint was filed, or firstly the notice was sent, then a plaint was filed, and then what were the upcoming orders, what were the applications, has there been any interim orders, is there any judgment. You can look for such things and you will understand the procedure. It's not always books that help, it's sometimes this kind of work. Instead of just going to court and understanding, maybe just by documents you can understand the procedure. So that's also a thing. Then you can also read those files to understand the drafting. The next is attending court hearings, and I don't think I have to stress on this because everyone of us know how important it is to attend the court hearings and make notes, go home and read those cases that you heard in the courts, do those kind of stuff. Then observing client meetings if you are permitted. Like in our office it's not allowed unless and until you are there just to watch the like sometimes your senior would ask them questions, so that time you might sit over there if they allow 1 or 2 people, where you can't speak to client obviously. But then other times you might be getting an opportunity to do client counseling yourself. Like I got it on my first internship. My first internship was in district court, so I got a chance to did client counseling. I did to so many of the clients. You might get that opportunity if you are well speaker, and more than speaker, if you are well listener, you might get that. Okay. Then also remember, don't be disappointed if your first task seems small. Every experienced lawyer starts at least somewhere. Just remember it. Next are what mistakes you should not make as an intern. Firstly, being late to office. I'm not asking you to be like early bird when your office is at 9 or 10 and you are being there at 8. Please don't do that kind of stuff as well. But then being generously, time. Like for example, if your office is at 10, reach by 9:50 or 9:45. That makes you look good. Not at 9 or something, it looks you overexcited and it's not that good as well. So yeah, being generously, and don't be late. Be on time. Be at least at 10, not at 10:05 as well, not even at 10:01. Okay, don't do that kind of stuff. Then not carrying a notebook. Please don't do this. Your seniors would actually come and eat you if you don't bring your notebooks, and trust me, it happened. Once I forgot my notebook, and the way I was scolded, okay, since I was knowing that person didn't scolded me that much, but then yeah, he did scolded me, so this might happen. And to my colleague who she didn't brought her notebook, she was very badly, it depends also person to person, because she was not that punctual. I was way too punctual, and it was my first time and did not brought. It was not her first time, so depends. Now don't use your phone during the work. You can, I'm not denying that fact, everyone does, but use it accountably. Like for example, using it just to watch reels which are useless reels, don't do that. You can watch reels like I do, but I watch some kind of court related reels. So then I have an excuse and I'm watching something law related if you're having no work at all. So yeah, usually no one actually judges you, but then if they do, so you can use this just to get that extra brownie points. Now next is copy pasting research without understanding it. Please don't do it. You ask your senior, they give you the things and then you just copy paste it. Please don't do that kind of stuff. Copy pasting research won't actually benefit you, nor it would benefit your senior, because anyone could do it. Why they would hire you as well? You are being a burden on them, so don't be a burden, please. Understand the research, then write it. When they ask you a research question, and then they should not feel that you have to do nothing. So yeah, be mindful of that. Then hesitating to ask a genuine question. Please don't. I'm telling you, you ask the questions. I ask sometimes I'm like, oh, please can I ask you one stupid question? And then it's like, oh, thank you asked this question. So once, basically one client, now in the respondent side it was written that she has 1,000 followers. Whereas in reality, she had only 200 followers. Now I just asked this genuine question, that which profile are they talking about? Then he asked me what happened, and I showed him the two contrasting things, and he was like, oh, okay, that slipped out of my notice as well. So yeah, it might seem stupid, but then that's sometimes good enough, okay? Then thinking you're too qualified for basic tasks. Remember, you're just an intern. You haven't even received your degree. What kind of attitude you're having? Honestly, don't have that kind of attitude. Even if they're asking you to bring a tea or coffee, see, if it's once, twice, do bring it. If it's daily work, if they are giving to others but not to you, you can argue. I also argue if they are not just, sometimes they be like, your first year, how would you be able to do it? Then I challenge them to at least try once. If I'm not able to, then I would be sorry for that. So I do challenge like that. You can also, if you are very confident that yes, you can draft it, but otherwise don't. Respect, do those kind of stuff. I also did. I'm like, just some basic stuff, maybe helping them to arrange the desk, but anything like that, it's not something so big deal. Everyone is human. They are just also testing you how polite you can be, how patient you can be. If it gets over your head and if they are not giving you anything real, that time you can argue. If they are doing it for others, so you understand that kind of difference also. Okay, then yeah, also professionalism matters just as much as your legal knowledge. So yeah, be polite but also be respectful for yourself. Being polite should not be at cost of your own stakes. Okay, next is how to stand out during your internship. So if you want your internship to leave a lasting impression, firstly, arrive on time. Take good notes of everything that your senior is telling. Submit work before deadline. Like my deadline was 30 minutes. I submitted work within I just 20 minutes I submitted that work. So yeah, and I'm talking about that application denial. So yeah. Next one was be respectful to everyone, not just to senior advocates. Be respectful to your co-interns as well. It helps a lot. Then read the case you are working on before asking questions. Usually people what they do, they don't read the files. They just do ChatGPT and everything. They would just do AI. They will understand the file and then they go and ask some stupid questions. Don't do that kind of stuff. If you have genuinely read it, if you have some genuine doubt, go and ask. Okay. Then be curious. Learning is your biggest responsibility. Once I just asked one of my senior advocate what is nishanis. Basically in English, what are exhibits? Now this is something so basic, but that time I was just not even joined law school, so I didn't know what exhibits were. So then he actually went to court. He took me along with him and he took out a file and he showed me every exhibit and he told me that what exhibit 5 is all about and everything he told me. So yeah, so you can ask this thing, and then even small things does matter. Then what internships are really about? So many students think that internships are about getting your certificates. Well, they are not. Internships help you answer some of the important questions like, do you enjoy litigations? Do you prefer the corporate office? Or are you interested in criminal law, civil law, family law, property law, anything like that? Every internship teaches you something, and that's not just about law but about yourself. Your internship is just like a mirror to you, so use it very wisely. So in the end, if you're nervous about your first internship, remember this: no one accepts you to be lawyer on the day one. Okay, no one actually does expect it from you. They expect you to be willing to learn, ask questions, work sincerely and improve every day. That's what makes a great intern. If you would like, I can also make videos on what to carry on your first day of your little internship, how to write internship emails that actually get replies. And if you found this video actually helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.